Study after study shows that children who grow up with a library of books have greater enjoyment for books, reading, and academics. However, you don't want to challenge your child before they're actually ready. You want books to be associated with something fun and enjoyable. You don't want reading to be a frustrating experience. So if your child is reading a book that is a little under his reading level, but it's a subject that he absolutely loves, let him read it. Be okay with it. The more challenging material will come later. Also, don't always worry about it being a super text-heavy book. This Extreme Planet by Bear Grylls is a great way to get kids reading without it just being super heavy in text. It has lots of great pictures and it's super interesting with some of the craziest things on the earth, and it introduces all of these ideas in bite-sized bits of information. That makes even reluctant readers okay with reading because it isn't intimidating with lots and lots of text on the page. Kids love reading our graphic novels, and they are, again, not super text heavy. Lots of action and adventure. We have King Arthur, Robin Hood, and Dracula. These are a fun series and really get kids reading and flipping the pages because they always want to see what is happening next, and it's a really fun way to get even reluctant readers to read. Now, if you do want some more text-heavy books, we have plenty of chapter books. And remember that you want to find something that interests them. Even if it's not exactly the reading level that you desire for your child, let's get them interested before we get them really challenged. Billy and the Mini Monsters is a fun book that my boys love to read. It is about a boy named Billy who discovers some tiny monsters living in his sock drawer and the adventures that he goes on with those monsters. Then there's Tanglewood Animal Park. It is about a girl who lives on an animal park and the adventures she has there. Again, this is a lot more text and great for children who are more advanced into chapter books. The Ella Diary series is a really fun one because it's written in diary style, including little doodles that Ella makes in her diary. Ella is a middle schooler and she deals with typical middle school things, and it's a really great way for young girls to see that books can incorporate into their lives because they can really relate to Ella in this series. For kids who love mysteries, Billy B. Mystery is so fun. It is a mix between Jeannie B. Jones and Nancy Drew, and Billy is a character that many of our kids know from the Billy B. Adventure series as a toddler. So Billy is a lovable character that a lot of them are already familiar with. So the Mystery series is a fun introduction to some chapter books, and it also still has some drawings in there to make the text not quite so overwhelming for those beginning readers. The Mapmaker Chronicles is for ages 11 and up, and it is my personal favorite series. It is captivating. It is full of action and adventure as a young boy travels around the world on a ship and they are mapping the world for the first time, and they are coming up on all sorts of adventures and fun, and it's definitely a great one for older kids, kids who want to be just captivated from start to finish. The Mapmaker Chronicles is exciting. It is a trilogy, so there are 3 books in this series. We also have some great nonfiction books. True Stories of Crime and Detection is kind of a CSI style book that kids really enjoy. It's full of stories of different crime and detection stories that are actually true and interesting, and kids love to read about real things that just seem kind of obscure. In our Academy series, we actually have activity books for a little bit older kids. This Academy series is an activity book that goes through training for different types of careers. Like Pilot Academy has activities within it, and sometimes there's stickers, sometimes there are things to do like outside, to do within the activity book that actually trains them to be a pilot. So this is something that's really fun for kids who are interested in a certain career and want to explore it a little bit more. Studies show that about the age of 7, reading for pleasure goes down drastically. Did you know that's also when parents stop reading to their kids? A lot of times people believe that once kids learn to read on their own, we don't need to read aloud anymore. But make sure you're still reading aloud with your children, even once they can read on their own. Our illustrated classics are a great way to do that. We have a lot of these fun, thick, durable hardback books. This is the illustrated classics, and as you can see, there are still illustrations in there. This is action stories for young readers, and these are really easy to read in bed because they're kind of small, easy to hold, something that you can read before bed every night, even with your 8, 9, 10-year-old. So keep reading. Complete Shakespeare is another great one to keep reading aloud as your children get older. This is stories from all the plays. So it is all the plays written in a storybook form, so it makes it a little bit easier to understand. Then there are also pictures in here that are showing all of the characters. This is a really fun way to get your kids loving Shakespeare before they actually read the plays, or to read after they read the plays to help them understand it a little bit better in a story form.